Alrighty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody had a lovely evening. And with that being said, dive into the TA. All right, guys, we did end up popping up to a new high today. SPY did end up getting above 595.54. We discussed above 593.20. We're going to be targeting 595.54, and if we could take out 595.54, we're probably going to start heading up to 598.51 and then 602.48. The weekly candle, guys, we started expanding, and now that we're breaking out of this range, I have to assume we're probably going to continue pumping. I'm going to point out how the Mag 7 stocks are looking in this video, but we're going to run through things pretty quick because it is getting pretty late here. But I do hope everybody had a lovely day. Sorry for the late update, but I did just get home. I was at the outlets. I'm going to Greece this Friday. So I have bought an absolute crap load of linen clothes and just clothes that are going to be better in that environment. And your boy is exhausted. All right, but I hope everybody had a lovely day. Let's prepare for tomorrow. We're going to try and make this a 5-minute video. Let's get after it. The first thing I'm actually going to point out before we get into anything, I'm going to put your attention on the small caps right now. IWM just broke out, got the breakout above 2803, as well as this downtrend right here, this trend line. All right, if it can pop above 210.13, you can see that's where I got my alert going on. If we get above there, guys, we close the day increasing volume. If we can get above 210.13, I assume it's only going to be a matter of, a few trading sessions before we're at the 200 DMA, the 200-day moving average, which is that yellow line right there, which is currently at 216. So before we go over SPY and QQ, I just kind of wanted to put that on your radar because definitely where I would say the best setup right now is on the indices. Okay, like this looks very clearly like it is going to pop up. All right, so that's IWM. Let's just take a look at DIA. It also looks like it wants to pop up. But coming back over here to SPY. On the upside, guys, we're talking 597.08. That's going to be today's high. Above there, 598.51. Above there, 602.48 and 608.13. On the downside, we're watching the breakout level 595.54. Then we have 593.20 and then 591.85. We would not want to take out 591.85. I'm going to change this. So this was the level that I was watching this morning for a breakout. That's what we gave the Discord this morning for our game plan. All right. Above there, we're going to be targeting 595.54 and then 598.51 above there. But I'm just going to make this the blue level right now, guys. This is where things start to flip back to bearish. Okay. If we do end up taking out today's low, that would not be a good look. And at that point, I do have to assume we're probably going to test these lower levels here. All right. And we see if this area holds, but I don't think that is going to be the case. Now, coming over here to QQQ, we did get above 523.68. Again, that was just the level I gave as the bullish trigger for this morning. We did end up popping above there bright and early this morning, right off rip. All right. And, actually SPY is the one that had the setup over here. We had this very clean consolidation going on right underneath our key, trigger level over here. Hit it with the break and retest. And then you just continued going. And you actually could have continued riding up on the 2-minute 21 EMA all day. And, this is what I pointed out right over here when we started, right over here. Pointing out the Discord. Hey, all right. If we start not holding the breaking down from the 2-minute 21 EMA, that is our first warning sign that price wants to start rolling over there. All right, and then we actually did end up seeing it roll over, but we said it was probably just going to be a reversion to mean on the 15-minute time frame, and we did end up just reverting back to the mean on the 15-minute time frame, right over here to the 21 EMA. That's your momentum indicator. Okay, coming back over here to QQQ, the levels we're going to be paying attention, guys, on the upside. 527.92 above there, we have 532.10 to 533.82. We got that zone. Okay, so we're currently in this zone. I did mention yesterday's video, the fact that we already got above here over here last Thursday night, okay, in the overnight session. I know we faded, we faded by the open here. We opened all the way down here, but you were up here 530 to 531 on that overnight session. The fact that we had that, we pointed out in yesterday's video that there was a chance we were just going to cut right through this area. And I still think that's probably going to be the case. If we do end up pulling back tomorrow, we're going to be paying attention to 523.68 and then especially 521.95 if today's low is taken out. If we cannot hold 521.95 on the retest, then yeah, it's going to be a slippery slope. That would be a false breakout above our key level. We don't really need that going on, okay? But, you know, real talk, on the downside, you're watching 525.97 and more specifically 523.68. If you give up 523.68, probably test some 521.95. And at that point, you know, that's just like what I was saying on SPY. We just don't want to take out today's low, okay? So even if we are retesting a key level, hey, it's still also not the best thing. So ideally, bulls are just going to continue pumping from here, guys. That's how I think things are set up. We can see over here on the hourly time frame. Okay, you're flipping this what was supposed to be supply, you're flipping it into demand. All right, so it's really not looking all too bad. But that is QQ, guys. You know, pretty straightforward. I really would say the clean price action right now is on SPY. That's you know, just as far as the smaller time frame go, as far as the smaller time frames go. The clean price action, the setups that I've been seeing are over here on SPY. We did also have more strength over here on SPY over QQ. So S&P 500 was stronger than the Nasdaq today. Moving on over here to the VIX. All right, I'm just going to point out you do have a 15-minute bullish divergence carving out over here on the VIX. So if we get a pullback tomorrow for this thing to get a little bouncy action right here, all right, that is likely going to be bought over there on the indices. Okay, so if you see VIX start spiking right over here from our demand zone, when the 15-minute RSI is oversold, it's probably just going to create a buying opportunity over there in the indices. And I imagine we're still going to hold today's lows if we get that pullback. So, you know, you could honestly buy the pullback and risk today's lows. And I would say that is a pretty solid structured trade right there. Because, yeah, if we do end up taking, let's just look at it. Okay, if we take out the low on SPY, take this out, we're coming back down here. All right, underneath 591.85, like the next stop is 589.08, which is kind of just in the middle of the range. At that point, I think we're probably gonna, you know, we have a false breakout from the top of the range. We swept the high over. I mean, you know, it would just be a false breakout. We didn't sweep the high over here. You didn't close with a nice upper wick up here. But it would be a false breakout. And when we get false breakouts, we typically will target the other end of the range, which, you know, it's going to be all the way down here. So I don't think that's going to happen, but that really is the bear case. If you take out 591.85 over here in SPY, okay? But as far as VIX goes, guys, we are now down into that 1715 to 1770 demand zone down here. We were looking for, you know, either you were going to pop above 2044 over here, and that was going to trigger the bear case over there on SPY and QQ over the past few trading sessions coming into this week. You know, guess what? That didn't happen. All right, you know, that was actually going to trigger the bear case on Friday over here. That didn't happen. And it also was the same thing we pointed out in the weekly update. I put my alert right there, 2044. Well, slightly above it because I want to see if it's actually breaking out. As we see, the high over here was 2045, guys. That was yesterday's high. 1 cent above our, you know, key level over there. That's clears their rejection. Okay, so from that point, I was expecting us to come down and take out the 1715 low. And I still think that is going to be the case. If we do end up seeing this bounce over here tomorrow, we're going to expect to be sold. It's very likely that this is going to take out this low over here at 1715, and that is fuel for the indices to continue pumping higher. Now, like I pointed out, guys, IWM, looking really freaking juicy. Okay, like this, if you want to focus on the hot index right now, if you want to focus on things that have not ran yet and are definitely set up to do so, small caps, IWM, that is what you're watching. IWM over here, June 20 calls. All right, I'm pretty sure you need a $4 move for 100% gain. I haven't looked at premium since I left for the outlets earlier around like 3 o'clock or whatever that was. But I'm just putting it on your radar over here. This is the clean trade right now. All right, above 210.13, you got 213.97, then more specifically 216. All right, the 200 daily moving average, that yellow line right at 216, that is going to act as a magnet. All right, so there's that, guys. We went over the levels over in SPY and QQ, went over the game plan. You got your nice clean trade idea over here on IWM. I'm just going to go over the Mag 7 stocks really quick. All right, first things first, guys, Tesla. You hit it with the fake out today. You got rejected right there at 354.99. The high of day was 355.40. All right, so you got above it by 41 cents there, and then boom, you came right back down. I am just saying, I think the low is in over here. If we do end up taking it out, I still think it's probably going to have buyers stepping in somewhere in this area between 307.04, this gap fill. You have the 200 daily moving average sitting down there, and right over here at 331.39. I think it's more likely that this is going to get bought up tomorrow, and if we do take out 354.99 tomorrow, that is when I think we probably get a straight shot up to here. Okay, so this 363.68 to 367.71 zone, and then if you could break above 367.71, we're going to 384 pretty quick, up to 401. On the weekly time frame, when you were at the high over here, it painted a pretty clear picture. You know, it had this bullish engulfing candlestick. I'm just going to say, if you close the week out with that bullish engulfing candlestick, we probably will have 2 to 3 more trending weeks that follow that. And that is something that we can run it up on, guys. Early June, June 12th, that's the catalyst. Let's see if we can get a run up into the event. I'm thinking it is going to probably run up into the event, not only with how it's set up over here, but just, you know, that is probably what's going to happen. That's typically what we would see. This is the hype catalyst. I imagine we're not going to sell into it and then bounce over it. I think we're probably going to run into it, maybe run further after it, but I'm definitely open to a sell the news event. I think it's likely that we push. It's only 6.3. That is going to be on 6.12. We have quite a few trading sessions in between now and then for this thing to get going. All right, so keep it on the radar. I'm actually just going to come over here to the MAGS ETF and we'll point out how that is, guys. It looks like you are going to make your way up to this 53.71 high over here, this swing high. Above there, you have nothing until 55.83. Regardless, it looks bullish, okay? Until you are proven otherwise here, you are looking for further upside. That's the MAGS ETF. Coming over here to Meta. All right, Meta over here, I gave you guys this one right over here off of 641.86. And then if you could break above 653.32, we said you're probably getting a straight shot up to 662.67. If you break there, straight shot up to 675.25. Where was the high today? 675.58. If you guys are having trouble getting these reactions on your levels and you don't know how to put these levels on your chart to get those reactions, all right, steal mine. It's steal them right here. Okay, if you're new to the channel, guys, remember to hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you are prepared to take advantage of the market every single day. We put out a video Monday through Thursday, and then we have the weekly update every weekend. I continuously put setups on your radar. I continuously tell you exactly what to watch over here on the indices, and I promise there is no other channel like us on YouTube. We are an extremely underrated channel here. And I am doing my best to provide as much value as possible for absolutely no cost to you so we can grow our channel. All right. At the end of the day, there are a bunch of people who want stuff from you. I don't want anything from you. Okay. I want you guys to learn how to make money and fish for yourselves. If you don't know how to do so, steal my stuff, steal my levels. I put out a video Monday through Thursday and then once every weekend, just so people can steal my levels. So you can make your money in the market. I give everything they need for absolutely no cost to you, right here for free. If you want a more hands-on approach, you want to come try it live with me. I live stream every single morning. If you want game plans on SPY QQQ, as well as 2 option trades every single day, and QES as well, for futures, that link will be down below. You can come trade with me. But I promise I give you everything you need for absolutely no cost to you in these videos. Why? Because I genuinely do want to help. All right. So I hope you guys are doing well in this market. And if you are following along with what we talk about on this channel consistently, you are probably having a good time. If you are not having a good time, you need to take a step back. You need to evaluate what's going on. But I'm telling you, I will put you in the right place at the right times. I gave you hymns. All right. I understand it. It died today. I was flabbergasted. At the end of the day, anybody could have gotten 100 to 200% off these options today. I was a greedy little pig. I took one out of 5 contracts off of, you know, not the high, but, you know, it was, the high was like 850 per contract around there. off for 730. We entered around, 350, 400 per contract. These were July contracts. I figured we were probably going to run straight up to all-time highs. You gave back the whole freaking move. I'm just going to say I don't think it's a good buying opportunity over here in HIMS. If it does take out this level right over here, you're getting a larger pullback. I'm really not sure if this thing is going to be just pulling back, but my point is I will continuously put the hot setups on your radar for absolutely no cost to you as long as you just tune into these videos. Again, no cost to you. I just need some of your time. We're now 15 minutes into this video, and you already have everything you need to kill it tomorrow. All right, but I'll take it a step further. PLTR, it's getting ready to go. If it pulls back to 127.88, that's your buying opportunity, or the move up to 140, 145, 150. Walmart, it's at $100 right now. All right, I gave it to you before it started breaking out. I told you we were watching it for weeks over here, and then right over here, coming into this week, I gave it to you as one of our top setups. It is now moving and grooving. If you could take out today's high at 189, I think you get a straight shot up to 102.55. Other than that, guys, I think you are going to be continuing just to grind higher here with clears. They have like a 5-week range breaking out here. It's looking juicy. Next one I'm going to put on your radar here, SMCI. I gave it to you coming into the week, and I gave it to you yesterday off of this bullish engulfing candlestick. It was looking like it was probably going to get a pop over here. That's when we put on this trend line. All right. Let me put it on right over there, okay? You got to break out above 43.09. That's the level I gave you in yesterday's video, okay? Now we're watching for 44.99 and then 47.80. That's going to be about right around this massive trend line we got going on here from all-time highs. Do not expect to just break there on the first attempt, but if you are trading it, you're trading it targeting 47.80. Bros. This is one that's just taking its dear sweet time. I mentioned in yesterday's video after we formed this little lower wick there, I thought we were probably going to come into the lower wick of yesterday's candle here today. And then the day after, I can see it pushing up and breaking 73.93. That was yesterday. We're going to see if that happens tomorrow. Either way, put the alert for 73.93 above there. You could trade it up to 80.62. All right, APLD. You got buyers on the pullback. I'm just going to highlight the 4-hour time frame. You are flipping a supply zone into demand. Supply, 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 supply. Boom. Broke out. You got sucked back under. It should have been treated as supply. It's being treated as demand. We are likely going to be pushing off of here and pushing to this 1125 to 1162 zone. All right. Congrats if you're making money on this guy. I think this has a lot more to go. All right, we did not finish talking about the Mag 7 stocks. I just realized we're coming back over to them right now, okay? On the upside over here on Nvidia, I'm anticipating we're going to break out through 143.44, and we are probably going to start heading up to all-time highs 148.97 and then all-time highs at 153.13. Those are your next stops, okay? It doesn't mean we get straight up there, but it's the same concept as a lot of these other weekly charts where we have the consolidation, we have this range. I understand it's a little sloppier. Regardless, you see sellers, and now we're pushing up through. If we can break above 143.44, all right, just around the top of last week's candlestick, 143.49. Again, if you have trouble finding the levels with the reactions, steal my freaking levels. I will give it to you for free every single video. All you need to do is hit the notification bell so you know when we subscribe, when we post. Okay, like tonight, it's 11:23 right now. I got home late. But do you want to be prepared for tomorrow? All I need is 15-20 minutes of your time. All right, you can watch these videos in the morning for all I care. You just got to watch them before the next market session, and you're going to be prepared. I got you, my friend. I got you. All right, over here on Apple, I'm just going to say I think this is going to be breaking out tomorrow. It's very uncommon that we are going to get these equal highs. I know we got it over here. All right, but at this point, the high of day over here was 203.77. Our level is 203.81. I think it's very likely you are going to be breaking out tomorrow. Get above 203.81. We're talking straight shot up to 206.75. Expect rejection there. But if you can get above there, the next stop is going to be 209.48. That's the next, key spot we're going to be watching. If you can get above 209.48, I think you get a straight shot up here to 214.56. And then at that point, I do think if you test this for the third time, I don't think it's likely to reject. I think you're likely to break out. And I think we are going to start this move up to the 200. All right, which is up at 225.70. So that's Apple. GOOG over here, guys. You're right here on the 21 EMA. Either buyers are going to step in tomorrow, and we're gonna get back above. We're gonna reclaim 170.65, and then get this thing moving and grooving. Or this thing is going to start breaking down here, and we're probably going to revisit 163.24. But tomorrow is the big day. It's going to happen or it's not. Microsoft over here, guys. Expected this to continue grinding up to all-time highs. Didn't get much of a move today. But, you know, we can clearly see what the thing wants to do at this point in time. It's looking pretty juicy. You have this range over here. Okay, this range, it was $6. We're now breaking out from that range. Well, $6, it brings you right to all-time highs. 468.35 is on deck. I do think the market is going higher, guys. I don't think there's a reason to be bearish. I put some setups on your radar earlier, but I'm still just going to highlight IWM. June calls. I find them safe. I think it's a valid trade up here to the 200 DMA. It's going to act as a magnet. If you see 213.97 trade, take some off. Leave a runner. I think you're probably getting $2 more higher than that, and you're coming 216 around that 200, and that's a little bit more sauce for you. Okay. Okay. We got a squeeze going. The juice is worth the squeeze. There you go. All right. Aside from that, guys, I'm just going to point out AVGO. It's clear as day a market leader over here. If you want to focus on a leader, it's AVGO. You do have earnings coming in hot Thursday after the bell, though. All right. And I do think we're probably going to hold where we are here into earnings. I don't know if we're just going to keep marching higher. I don't think we are. We're probably going to hold right where we are. All right. Aside from that, guys, I appreciate you guys. I really do. And I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I know it was a little short guy over here. I know it was a late guy over here. But at the end of the day, we delivered what the people need, which is their analysis. All right. With that being said, guys, please remember to leave a like so we can, we can help grow our very underrated channel over here. Again, nobody does like we do here on YouTube. I try and provide as much value as possible for absolutely no cost to you. I try and give everybody the tools they need continuously to make money in this market week after week, day after day. All right. Please remember to leave the like, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.